M block accommodation, 2 o'clock hours. Braden should have been wearing an officer's uniform rather than the sergeant's one. He carried himself with such an air of authority, stood straight, and he was almost marching parade ground style towards his prey. He believed he was carrying out the Lord's work against evil, this particular evil being the English crown. To him, it was as if he had a force field protecting him. Weapon in hand, he pushed open the double doors, making his way straight up the stairs to the left and into H Troop corridor. H Troop straight to Hell Troop, he said, smiling. By the door above a red fire extinguisher, he stopped to look at the troop notice board and read the list of names and bus numbers that had taken them on regimental adventure training. There were over 60 names on the list from this block. It was dated 3 days ago. Fuck, well, he was here now. It was not his fuck up, just poor intelligence. But hopefully, there would still be someone around. He moved to the first door, and as he thought, it was locked, as were the next 10, but the 11th one clicked open. Braden was shocked to see a British soldier in full uniform lying on his bed. His SA-80A3 rifle propped up against his locker, looking at his phone and masturbating, his combat trousers around his knees. Sapper Compton let out a scream in shock. "Sergeant, sorry, I was just getting my phone." "Fuck shit," he said, embarrassed, frantically trying to pull his trousers up. It was only then that Compton's brain registered that a pistol was pointed at him. "What's going on, Sergeant? Is it an exercise?" "I was not told about it," he said, his cheeks bright red. As Compton reached for his rifle, Braden shot him twice in the left side of his head. Compton slumped forward, hitting the floor with a thud, his last dregs of air bubbling and hissing from his mouth, a 3-inch radius of blood pooling on the green carpet underneath his skull. Braden grabbed the SA-80 rifle that had fallen on the floor next to the corpse, checking the magazine, stunned to find that it was empty. Searching through Compton's ammo pouches, he discovered one fully charged magazine, loaded it onto the rifle, then slung it onto his back. "Spoils of war," he giggled. "Hope you enjoyed your wank." Taking the keys from the locker, Braden edged back into the corridor and locked the door, then moved on to his next victim. Too fucking easy, he decided. It was a strange feeling for Braden. He was delighted at killing 18 British soldiers that night, but he was also disappointed because if they had not been on adventure training, the number would have been much higher. He even shot the door locks off several rooms to check that they were empty, realizing that this was a one-off attack. The Brits would not drop their guard again. The S.O.E would have to adapt their tactics once more. Dropping seamlessly back into his role as a British soldier, Braden exited the accommodating, carrying the SA-80 rifle, just like one of them. He was eager to find out how the others had fared. Everything being deathly quiet, he assumed it was all going to plan. Quickening up his step, he made his way back to the RV. He didn't know when the soldier he killed who was wanking would be missed. He couldn't wait to tell the others about that. As Braden was walking along the path towards the perimeter fence in his escape, he noticed a lone male, head down with a cigarette hanging out of the side of his mouth, walking straight towards him. The man was dressed in a white chef's coat and checkered trousers, and he needed to make an instant decision: let him live or kill him. The chef had not even noticed Braden's presence. He was unsure if the chef was a soldier or a civilian, but figured he was helping the British war machine and was a valid target regardless. Checkered trousers had clocked him now. Braden noticed he had an earpiece, and it seemed like he was listening to music as he was singing along, which sounded louder than Braden's victim would have realized. When the chef was directly in front of Braden, he nodded in recognition, which delighted Braden, proving he looked the part. He wanted to shoot him with the SA-80, but realized that would be foolish due to the noise, so he gestured for the man to remove his earpiece, which he did. "Morning, Sergeant," he said, grinning. "What can I do for you? If you're after a bacon butty, you will have to wait for at least half an hour until I get the kitchen up and running. I'm on my own this morning, what with them all being on adventure training." That sounds lovely," Braden said. "I might take you up on that. But no, what it is, I just wanted to show you something over there by the bins area," he said, gesturing. "I think somebody might have been stealing food. So, if you follow me, I will show you. I'm in a rush, so I won't keep you from your duties, okay? Lead the way, Sergeant," the chef said, looking pissed off. "You must have just been posted. I don't recognize your face." "Yes, that is correct. I've only been here a few days. I was over in Germany. I've got a married quarter, a bit small compared to the one over there, but we will manage." Braden looked at his watch. He was pushing it, but he had already made up his mind. The two men walked down a narrow pathway, the chef in front with privet hedges on both sides, then entered a small compound with 6 large stack bins. Some were overflowing with rubbish. Even in the cool morning air, the place stunk of rotting waste. Braden walked over to a bin, lifted the lid, and saw it was half empty. "This will do nicely," he thought. "Here, look in there," Braden said, pointing. "I'm sure that's been stolen." "Fuck me, do I have to?" the chef said, wrinkling his nose at the stench. "I never caught your name." "Yes, you do. That's because I never told you my name. As a matter of fact, it's Braden," the terrorist said, reverting to his Irish accent. The chef gingerly stuck his head inside the bin, not noticing the accent change. "What the fuck is it, Sergeant, I'm supposed to be looking at? It stinks." Braden slung the SA-80 onto his back and took out his Glock, shooting the chef in the back of the head 3 times. The body slumped forward, then slid back onto the floor. He noticed the silver metallic corporal rank chevrons on the corpse's lapel. The cigarette was even still in his mouth oddly. The Brit cunt could have had the decency to fall into the bin for me, thought Braden as he picked up the corpse in a fireman S-lift and threw it into the waste. Picking up the chef's hat, he wiped the blood that had sprayed onto his face and tossed the hat on top of the body. Then, jogging towards the RV, he laughed out loud. A fucking baker's dozen, so it is. Well, 18, but he was a baker. Braden couldn't believe how easy this had been. If only they had known, they would have done this earlier on an even bigger scale. Several barracks at a time. Mass Brit casualties might have even helped achieve a united Ireland, making his way back to the RV near the fence. He was the last one back. Patrick hissed at him. Where the fuck have you been? Killing fucking Brit soldiers. I got carried away. Sorry. Braden hissed back sarcastically. Patrick reluctantly dismissed his insubordination and raised his right arm forward. Let's move out. People, no talking. The 4 assassins crawled back through the hole in the fence. Patrick helped push them all through, spending a few seconds attention to many on Susan's arse, which didn't go unnoticed. He then replaced the section of wire fence and the ASU disappeared into the misty Cornish countryside heading for the RV pickup point, leaving a gruesome blood-splattered horror story behind them that was going to rock the British establishment to the core. Please like, subscribe, and share. Read A.A. McNally's book, Sons of Iron, Operation Celtic Jihad.